themselves into on this, what's today? Madness Monday. Hope everybody's having a good day. Start of the weekend, you already know. Decided to hop on, chop it up with individuals, see what's the talk of the town. It's going down. The word of the curve, you heard me. Let me just set this up real quick. So what's good with everybody? Now, for those who are wondering, I did drop a new video on my other channel and on this channel, right? This channel talking about why does the raza glorify criminals, and on the other one is at least what I think my list of the best Chicano rappers, and I also show samples of their music within the video, right? So I get my picks. I think my pick was like 12 picks, right? The top 12, in my personal opinion of Chicano rappers. And remember, that's just my picks. What do I think, right? So before people get their panties in a bunch and, hey, no, this guy sucks or this guy, like that's just my personal opinion of who I think is the best of Chicano rap, right? Because I do see out there that people have, posted their list, right? Like I think the Foos community, dropped one, right? That's the one that, got everybody's feelings hurt. So I did a list, right? But that's just my opinions, right? Of who I think is the best of Chicano rap right now, that's relevant right now, right? Not of all time, because obviously of all time it'll be a different story, right? But meaning of like who's still making music and who people can still find out there doing music. I should probably do one for like the younger generation, no? Like top, up and coming young Chicano rappers, and then probably one for all time. So I'll probably end up doing those, right? So, those should be coming. But at least for right now, the ones that are relevant right now. And I judge them based sheerly on skills, not on gang ties, not on who's representing what, not on all street, nothing like that. On just their rapping skills, like how well can they rap. So without the gangster ties to it or the gangster lore, no one's talking about no gangster shit. We're talking about sheerly just skills in rap. What's cracking like in, Jose? You're getting yourself into, my boy. Que esa es la buena vida, carnal. How's your day going? ¿A toda madre o un desmadre? A shadow had flow. Is the shadow had flow? Yeah, definitely had flow. Definitely, was creative. Very skillful. In my personal opinion, one of the best, if not the best, that you kind of rap, right? Certain individuals take their craft seriously, right? They actually, look to better themselves, improve themselves. That's why it's never good to think that you're number one or that you're the best. Because when you think you're the best and number one, then you're not going to look to better your skills because you think you're already the shit. So why should I practice? Why should I get better? Why should I improve in anything? Why should I, pay attention to the criticism? Like, why? Like, I think my flow's the best. So they're not going to change anything about it, bro. And that's why they're just like, it's never good to do that, right? It's one of the things that Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan said, right? They never say that they're the best and that they can't improve in nothing, right? They always say that their game could, that they could do better, because that's what pushes for greatness. Because when you think you're the best already and you think you're on top of the world, like why would you look to try to improve if you already think you're the best? So it's never good to have that mental. But then again, look, I don't believe it's luck. I believe that it's more of a marketing. He's more marketable, right? Because of the image. People go for the image. Like they just see this individual all tattooed up and how can I say, full of a lot of energy, and people gravitate to that, bro. They think that that's gangster, like people tend to be gravitated to that kind of stuff, right? That's why a lot of people get fooled by all those people that are all blasted. Because people think that that's what really, that they think that that's what gangster really is. You know what I mean? But they don't know no better, obviously. What up, ganger? What's cracking like it, my boy? You getting yourself into carnal? What's cracking like it, Mr. Pasa's definitely up in the casa for the raza. Woo woo. I got a carry tat. That's cool. She's gonna get sued. Regular Monday, another day, another dollar. I feel you, bro. No queda otra, ¿no? La vida de pobre, pues qué chingados. Pues los biles no se pagan solos, ¿verdad? Bueno, ya quisiera. Say, who's biological kids? Who are we talking about? Hello, Julio. The living legend. Like, well, I have been told that I have looked like him from time to time. Like in fucking what's that movie called? The White Chicks. When they tell the fat cop when they're like, has anyone ever told you you look like Denzel? And that fool's like, well, I have heard that once or twice. Like, motherfucker, what are you lying for, bro? Ain't nobody ever told you you look like Denzel. That fool said, well, I have been told that once or twice. She's like, what a beautiful chocolate man. That movie's funny as fuck. Them fools are both funny though. The brothers was the Wayne brothers. Also, they're funny. What if Trump says his overweight kids are not his biological kids? To be honest with you, I wouldn't even doubt that he actually had them. He actually had a DNA test on them, bro. Just because he's so egotistical. Remember, because the mind of these individuals who suffer from any type of personality disorder is completely different than anybody else's, right? They feel like there's nothing wrong with the way they think and the way that they are, right? A narcissist feels like the way he thinks is the right way and that everybody thinks like him except that he's the only one that says it or he's the only one that actually is not afraid to show it. When no, that's not how it works, right? It's kind of like one of the things that the toolbox killer, he was a serial killer, had said, right? He left a tape behind, right, that he would play for all his victims that he had kidnapped, whatever. And in that tape, he had mentioned that he likes to have them chained up. He likes to have his victims chained up, right? And that people don't know how fun it is to have, a female chained up for him to use whenever he wants, right? And he said, if it wasn't because of the law and police officers and all that, that he's guaranteed that more than half of these women would be chained up in somebody's basement, right? Because of how much fun it is. Like, so he thinks that the only thing that's stopping, everyday folks, people, actual people, from kidnapping a girl and having them chained up in the basement for sexual pleasure is the law. That's crazy, bro. That's delusional. Like, no, can it not be that like people wouldn't want to do that from the moral sense? Like what kind of shit is that, bro? Like, how are you gonna kidnap somebody? And, like, that's not what's stopping people from doing that, bro. But the fact that he sees it that way should already show you their fucking delusion, bro. You know what I mean? Another thing I had seen a YouTuber say, right? He was like, oh, yeah, I have cheated on my girl before, but all men have cheated before, I'm just the only one that's willing to say it. And it's like, the fact that you think that we're all the same or we think like you is crazy, bro. But that's the ego in these individuals. They think that the way they behave is, there's nothing wrong with it, and that everybody, behaves the same way as them. They just choose to admit it when it's like, no, bro, not everyone thinks like you, my guy. But see, that's the delusion that these individuals are stuck in. They feel like there's nothing wrong with their behaviors. They feel like, that they're just acting, how people should act, and that everyone else is too afraid to. That's crazy. But see, the fact that they can't see it from the moral sense of things should already let you know their state of mind, and how fucking warped it is. It's actually quite fascinating, to be honest with you. Do you like oh, my little bug is definitely up in the building. Love you, baby. Oh, Chicano Malo is definitely up in the house as well. Shout out to Chicano Malo. Yeah, so I wouldn't doubt that Trump has actually tried to, get DNA and say that. Nah, they ain't. Those two are not mine. Those other two are mine, but not these two. I used to think I was a northerner because I put work in back in the days, but never was in a neighborhood. But last night I chilled with a active, and he got pissed when he seen my well got buried on my phone because I'm not a real thing. Well, I don't know because I'm not a northerner, right? So I don't know how their structure is, like their program is, right? Like I don't know how you guys, like I had no opinion in that, right? Like to say, anything like that. But I can give you at least from my perspective from this side, right? Um, there's been individuals that have hanged around with my neighborhood, right? They kicked it with us and chilled with us, and they're homies, right? But they're not from the neighborhood. And sometimes some of these individuals have, I guess it went straight to their heads, right? And have tried to, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, when there's been times when, we were outnumbered and they fought and they did shit like that, right? But they were never from the neighborhood. They didn't want to be from the neighborhood, right? But they did, put in work, what you could consider kind of putting in work, right? Um, and there was times where they kind of try to carry themselves like if they were from the neighborhood, and to the point where they did have on their phone, like the neighborhood letter and stuff like that, right? And we kind of had to bring them back to reality, like, whoa, hey, bro, my boy, you're not from the neighborhood, homie. Relax, chill. You know, not to be an asshole, not because we're trying to put the homie down or nothing like that. Like, hey, you're a good camarada, my boy, but you're just not from the neighborhood, bro. And there's only certain things that homies from the neighborhood get to do, and you're just, because if that's the case, then why don't you get jumped in? You feel me? Because when you do it like that, it's kind of like they're seeing it like this. It's kind of like you want to play gangster whenever you want. Like when it's at a convenience, you're willing to be gangster and do gangster shit, right? But then when it's not, you have the how can I say, the avenue to say, well, I'm not from no gang, or I'm not from their neighborhood, or I'm not from their side, or you get what I mean. So like it's kind of like you're, 1 foot in, 1 foot out type shit, right? Um, so it's like you're gangster one day, but then in other days it's like, well, I'm not from a gang. You feel me? And that's just not the business. Um, but at least I'm just giving you from my perspective from this side, right? But I don't know how norteños, I don't know the structure of how that goes, right? Because I understand that there's people that are not from a gang but are norteños, right? Yeah, that's what I did to me. Pretty much put me in reality check. Because the ones who are on the hood have to live under the strict. Yeah, like, homies don't get the luxury to say, none of that stuff, right? Like, you know, um, and that's the reason why, you always want to tell individuals to, like, you better think it twice, and if anything, bro, stay in school, bro, do your thing, don't worry about, you know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to hammer it home to you that, Once you choose this, once you choose to become a part of this, there's no looking back. You feel me? Now, not to say that people can't, like, be family men. You could, but once you've gone through the trenches, right? Because then it's like you have individuals that are old and try to talk like whatever, and Ben homie's gonna be like, well, what the fuck have you done for the neighborhood, homie? Like, what have you done to actually even earn any type of status? You feel me? So it's like, but once homies have, put in work and did their thing right, and now they're, have a family, nobody could question them. What are they gonna question? That they can't. They can't. He's been there, done that. He's put in his work, so his resume, so nobody could say he never put in no work or he can't. That's why homies get to do their thing. They earned the right to that. You feel me? But that's the reason why, at least, homies, despite what society wants to think, that's the reason why people do tend to, put homies on check and tell them to better off to, choose a better path. Because once you choose this lane, it's all in, bro. And you're not gonna get nothing out of it because homies know that they get nothing out of it. It's not a secret. Despite what these movies, TV shows, and everybody else on the internet likes to say, no, they promised them women and money, bro. What the fuck, man? Nobody promised none of that, bro. Like, bro, like I be telling my homie, like, hey, bro, will you promise that? Nah, you. When the fuck did they? Like, who? Where did they get this story from? Like, who's promising people anything? Like, did I miss something? I must have not. I must have been absent that day. I, I must have signed for a different package. Fuck, nobody's promising anybody nothing. That shit is crazy. Like, ooh, like you promised what? Like, what neighborhood is that? Who's doing that? That's never a good thing to do. Because then when you lose it all, bro, you're in the busted, bro. And these individuals now are like wondering, like, where's everybody at? And how come no one got their back? People forgot about them. That's when they tend to, snitch or fold and stuff like that. Because they felt like they were played. That's why it's not good to do that. Better to be honest. That way, when they're sitting there, they already knew what they signed for, and they already knew how the game was. It's not gonna come as a shocker. Like, damn, none of the homies ain't taking my car, ain't getting no letters. You know what I mean? But I don't know. The world swears. It's because the world thinks that they have, in order to get these people to do the shit that they do, at that young age, that there must have been something that was promised to them, in order for them to throw their lives away. Something had to be promised. Okay. And like, they don't understand that this life is about emotions. It's not about fucking, rewards. You know what I mean? It deals with emotions, bro. That's the reason why they have a strong bond with their neighborhoods. It's all an emotional, life. It's an emotional attachment, not a fucking, materialistic attachment. You hear it in songs when gangsters rappers say they want money, power, women, cars. But I think when they talk about like that, I think that they're saying that about their like gangster career, right? They're like infusing their gangster rapping career with the gangster life, right? Because I guarantee you, bro, you go to any of these barrios, you're not gonna see it like you do it in the music videos with bitches walking in thongs and lowriders jumping and money falling from the sky and people popping champagne. You don't see none of that in the barrios, bro. In any hood, whether black or Mexican, you don't see none of that type of shit, right? So there's illusion that people think that you get any of this. And like I said, when individuals are out there, you're putting in work, mobbing on walls, looking for enemies, dumping, shootouts, rumbles, fights. None of that shit has anything to do with women or money. You know what I mean? When you're out there patrolling the neighborhood and look at that, like that in itself, how is it attached to money or female? You get what I mean? So for the illusion for people to be like, well, the problem is this or that, like, I think where people got that illusion from, right, or at least why they think that is that they confuse mafiosos for gangsters, right? So I think that they got that from all the gangster movies, meaning was like Scarface, The Goodfellas, The Godfather, right? So they're confusing mafiosos, right? The mobsters, the Italian mob guys, right? Because they were like, oh, gangsters or whatever, and they're the ones making money and women and all of that because that's how their life is structured. Their life is not about riding on walls, standing on corners, and getting their gang tattooed on them. Their world is about secrecy, not telling nobody that you guys are associated with anything, and to open legitimate businesses. Well, to open legitimate business to fund your illegal business, pues, right? So for their lifestyle, yes, it's all about women, power, and money, right? But see, that world is different from what's the gangster world, right? What you see these individuals posted, mobbing, dumping, it's two completely different worlds, bro. But it is seen as gangster because what's a gang? A gang is three or more individuals that do illegal activity, right? So you can consider a cartel, a crew, a mafia, a gang, but they're gonna categorize all of them as gangs, But it's a different way of living, though, because these Crips and Bloods don't behave like white gangs do, or like these Italian mob guys do, or biker gangs for that matter, right? They all move different though, or Hispanic gangs. And Hispanic gangs don't move like cartel is, even though it's all the same thing, right? But you can see it's a different way of living, right? So it's not the same world, even though they're all considered criminals or gangsters or thugs. But there's a difference to how they move. You feel me? But see, the world doesn't know any better, so they just like to grab all of these individuals and put them in the same basket. They think that they all follow the same rules and live the same way and conduct themselves the same when they don't. No, they don't. You feel me? And I think that's why when people be like, well, these guys are burning themselves, they can't be saying this and that, or they can't be telling people, where they from, or they see, they're confusing all of that like with the mafia life. Like, well, like what gang do you see that moves like that as secrecy? Like, how does this life have anything to do with secrecy? This life that we live is far from secret, bro. If it's a fucking secret, why are they standing in their actual neighborhoods on the fucking corner, posted in their neighborhood, right? If it's a secret, why the fuck are they tagging it up with their neighborhoods? If it's a secret, why the fuck are they getting it tattooed all over their bodies as big as possible, as much as possible? If it's a secret, why do they have it on their fucking clothes, hats, belts, and all of that? If it's a secret, why are anybody that passes by, they're letting, hey, where you from? Hey, this is so and so and so and so, and this is our neighborhood. Why are they letting people know if it's this secrecy that's supposed to be a secret and no one's supposed to know about it? Like, what? Bro, for it to be a secret, bro, that's the opposite of secret, bro. Nothing these individuals do and how they move has anything to do with secrecy, bro. Like, how the fuck is that a secret, bro? If they're telling everybody where they're from. And the delusion that people think, right? But it's like, I know where you got your information from. You got it from movies, my boy. That's why you think the way you think. But you want to think that you didn't, that you actually know some shit when you don't. You don't. Your info came from fucking movies, bro. And now you want to talk like you know what's up. You don't know what's up. Because those who live this life understand what you can and can't do. It's been the way we fucking lived our whole entire lives. But people, like I said, it's crazy. It's giving. I remember when I used to chill, acting Northerners back in the days. I had some of the best times with them, and sometimes it was my most scariest. Yeah, in like I always say, this life, of course, is gonna bring good times, good memories. You're gonna meet good homies, and all of that, bro. But it also comes with its bad times. It's times of frustration, stress, um, um, anger, and you know, and all of that, right? The emotional roller coaster, right? There's gonna be more good than bad. You feel me? I mean, there's gonna be more bad than good. Um, Now I don't regret it, right? I don't regret it. It made me the person I am today, right? And I love my neighborhood, right? But I wouldn't recommend people to join that lifestyle, right? Um, I already well, it's the life that I'm in, entrenched in, right? But it's not a lifestyle that I would seek out to recommend for people. That's why you don't see homies recommend that life for anybody, right? At least individuals that have actually been places, they don't recommend that life, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you're gonna stop somebody from, if the individual decides to, that's what they want to do, right? Then that's what they want to do. Can I can't hold them back. I can't stop them. You know what I mean? The individual's gonna have to learn for himself. When I joined my neighborhood, because all my family from my neighborhood, right? My family didn't want me to be from the neighborhood. You know what I mean? I got beatings and all of that, trying to scare me, to not to join. I still ended up joining, bro. And like my uncle said that day, he's like, you know what? We tried everything, bro. So if you want to fuck up your life, go ahead. So that's the life we decided to still choose, right? So you know, and that's the reason I tell people that it's not like homies. When people be like, how come you don't give these youngsters good advice? Look, can nobody change these individuals' minds? Cannot me, none of the big homies, can no law enforcement, no priest, no counselor, nobody will be able to change that individual's mind. The only one that could change that kid's mind is the people that he wants to hear the shit come out from, and those people are not willing to have those discussions, which is the parents. The parents are the only ones that could change this individual's opinion. But they don't know how to talk to these kids, bro, or they refuse to acknowledge that there's anything wrong, right? They think that their form of talking is pinche vatos pendejo estúpido babos. That's not talking to your kid, bro. That's not. You're just encouraging him more to join that life. You're not helping the scenario, bro. Like, how about actually trying to talk to these individuals, bro? Without the fucking insults and the beatings and all of that, because you're not gonna fix anything like that, bro. Like, how are you gonna change somebody's mind? Like, when you go and ask somebody for advice, bro, like, you're not gonna take their advice if they're calling you fucking stupid and a fucking idiot and worthless. That's not gonna work, bro. Like, where the fuck does it work like that, bro? Like, tell me, where the fuck does somebody come at you like that and you're gonna be like, all right, bro, I'm gonna listen to you. Come on now, homie. They think that, oh, I tried talking to him already, bro. I fucking hit him with the bell. I socked him. I fucking called him stupid and the fucking pendejo. And and none of that worked. Damn, my boy. Are you sure? Did you do it right? Did you backhand him too? None of that worked? Damn, bro. That for sure should have worked, bro. Damn, that's a trick. Like, bro, people really think that. And then they wonder why these kids become the way they become. Like, you're telling me you beat their ass and they still didn't listen? Huh. Fuck, man, that's crazy. Ask any individual that's from the streets, bro, if they got their ass whooped as a kid, bro. I guarantee you they're going to say, yeah. It was normal. It's normal. It's normal. The fact that these individuals say that it's normal should already let you know the dire situation, bro. Like, that's not normal, my guy. See, that's the thing. That is not normal. That type of parenting is not normal. It's not how you should raise a kid. But the fact that you think that that's normal because everyone around you grew up like that too should already let you know why there's so many Hispanic gang members. And in Mexico, why there's so much corruption and so many people that are from the cartels and drugs and everything like that. Because the way you're raising these kids, bro. That machista, nah, they're men, you can't show them no love type of way of raising a kid, it doesn't work, bro. It doesn't work. That's the reason why you have more, Hispanic gang members or cartel members or anything like that. And also black gang members, why you have so many of them as well. While white people tend to make fun of the way they raise their kids, right? Like, that they pamper them too much. But statistically wise, why is there less white gang members than black and Hispanics? You clown on the way they raise their kids, but it seems like it's something's working, right? Not to say that there isn't white gang members or white people that are not drug addicts and shit like that. There is. Not as many, though. Now, why is that? Because you are going to have white people that are stupid and don't know how to raise their kids. That's the reason why they turn out to be fuck-ups. But statistically wise, there's less of them. Because the way they see on how they should raise their kids is different from how blacks and raza see it. Now, see, that's the problem with you guys. You guys got to give them a good ass whooping. Well, that's probably why them kids turn out to be gang members and those kids don't. Bro, argue with the facts. Because you're not going to say, nah, well, that's stupid. No, it worked. Well, the facts say otherwise, my boy. You may say that it worked, but bro, facts. The proof in itself says otherwise, my guy. Because if that shit really did work, this problem wouldn't be plaguing your ethnicity. Because you can't beat somebody into submission. You can't beat, a problem, in order to solve it. You just can't fix problems with aggression. Facts over feelings, my guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We got to get back to it. It was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.